The highway was a black ribbon twisting through a storm, and Anthony hadn't seen another pair of headlights in an hour. Then his own beams caught the thing mid-stride. He stomped the brake, the rig shuddering sideways on wet asphalt. Two yellow eyes flared in the darkness, then vanished into the brush.
A coyote? No, too short. A bobcat? This far east? Man, you are seeing things.
He parked at the rest stop, engine rumbling, and stared into the trees until the shape materialized. A bobcat, hunched and wet, watching him back.
She looks half-starved, probably licking moisture off the pavement. I've got water in the cab.
He took a plastic bowl from the cab, filled it from his gallon jug, and set it at the very edge of the lot. Then he retreated behind his door and waited. The bobcat crept forward on 3 good legs, lapped at the water with desperate little licks, and didn't look away from him once.
That's it. Just water and a quiet engine. Nothing more. Still, I'm gonna think about you all the way to Kansas City.
He climbed back up, put the rig in gear, and pulled onto the wet interstate. But even 10 miles down the road, he was still seeing those yellow eyes.
Same lot, same fuel stop. We'll see if she's still there next week. No harm in checking.
A week later, the rest stop was the same. Anthony climbed down with a new blue bowl.
She's probably gone. This is stupid. Leaving a bowl like a suburban cat lady.
He filled it, set it at the edge, and waited. Then the ferns rustled and the bobcat stepped out. She drank loudly, still favoring one leg but looking better. He could hear it from the cab.
Well, I'll be. You remembered. Don't get attached, old man.
He stood by the rig another half hour, watching her clean her paws, longer than his schedule allowed.
One bowl doesn't make me responsible, but I'll bring another next week, just in case.
He left the bowl and climbed in. In the side mirror, the bobcat raised its head at the door slam.
Same time, same place. A harmless routine. Nothing to tell anyone.
The rig pulled onto the highway. This time, the tightness in his chest had eased just a little. 3 runs later, the bobcat was waiting each time. Anthony packed a fresh gallon of water like it was part of his pre-trip inspection.
I am calling you Sage, for the way you melt into the brush, invisible until you decide to be seen.
He started filming short clips, holding his breath as she drank. He rewatched them at night, parked at truck stops, the glow of the screen his only company.
Daddy, you saw a bobcat? Are you okay? Did it try to eat you?
Better than okay, baby girl. Look at this.
He aimed the phone at Sage through the windshield, and Lila's squeal came through the speaker, high and disbelieving, like a firework going off in the dark cab.
She's so pretty. Can we call her Sage? Like the color of her fur? I drew her for you, Daddy, so you don't forget us when you are driving all alone.
He taped the drawing beside the speedometer, where the road blurred into white lines and the engine hum covered the quiet. Now he'd see it every time he checked his speed.
My little girl and a bobcat, 2 creatures I need to keep showing up for.
On his next haul, the dispatcher's voice crackled through the cab before he'd even hit the Tennessee line. The complaint was specific.
Extended rest. I am taking my legal 30-minute breaks, same as always.
The dispatcher cited flagged logs. An extra 20 minutes at one stop, 4 runs in a row. Anthony's gut tightened. A formal warning would follow if he didn't cut the delays. No one cared about a bobcat.
Lose this job, lose child support. Lila needs a father, not a bum who feeds stray animals.
That night, he pulled into the rest stop anyway, running 15 minutes behind his own lie. Sage was there, sitting at the edge of the light like she'd been waiting for hours. She didn't move when he climbed down.
Look at you. Not a care in the world. I could learn a thing or two.
He filled the bowl and stayed until she finished drinking, but the usual quiet felt edged with a warning.
One more run like this, and I am busted, but I can't stop coming. What does that make me?
The warning should have pulled him back. Instead, Anthony packed extra water and kept his schedule aimed at the rest stop. Late one run, he filmed Sage hunting at the meadow's edge, a perfect crouch, then a blur of fur. He sent the clip to Lila.
Daddy, I made a scrapbook. I printed the pictures and wrote captions in sparkly pen. This one is my favorite. She's like a superhero. The brave Bobcat. I'm gonna put her right next to my horse poster.
Sage learned the sound of his engine. Now, when the Peterbilt rumbled off the exit, she was already trotting toward the lot.
She hears me coming. Smart girl. Smarter than half the people I share the road with.
Then his phone lit up with a formal final notice. The dispatcher attached a log chart with his extra stops circled in red.
If I cut the stop, she doesn't drink. If I keep it, I am fired. There's no right answer here.
He glanced at Leela's drawing taped beside the speedometer, the crayon Bobcat grinning, and felt the weight of 2 lives pulling at him.
I'll find a way. I don't break promises.
That night, Sage did something she'd never done. She walked past the water bowl and stopped 3 feet from his door. Anthony froze, then slowly rolled down the window. The cold air carried the smell of pine and wild fir.
Hey, girl. You never come this close. Something scare you? Or you just figure I'm not a threat? I am 48 years old, and the only one who listens to me is a wild animal. That's pathetic, huh?
He talked for 20 minutes, spilling everything he'd bottled up since the divorce. Sage sat motionless, ears forward, eyes never leaving his face. His next run, Sage didn't trot out at the sound of his engine. He found her at the tree line, thinner, favoring the same leg. Her ribs pushed against her skin and she limped heavily, the old wound looking raw and angry.
She's dying. I can see it. And I am just sitting here with a jug of water.
He laid out food and water, hands trembling, and sat on the pavement 10 feet away, waiting to see if she'd eat.
Please don't leave me out here alone. You are the only thing on this route that feels like home.
After that night, Anthony broke his own rule. He left a can of tuna beside the water, then watched from the cab as Sage devoured it.
Habituating a wild animal is the first sin of any outdoorsman, but I am not in a position to preach.
On the next video call, Lila pressed her face to the screen, studying the latest clip of Sage. She saw what he'd been hiding.
Daddy, Sage looks all bony. She's not sick, is she?
No, baby. She's just shedding her winter coat. Happens every spring. She's fine.
Later, his phone buzzed with a message from his ex-wife. The child support payment hadn't cleared, and now she was threatening court.
She's right. I'm behind on everything. Feeding a bobcat won't pay a lawyer.
That night, at the rest stop, the rain started again. Anthony sat in the cab, engine off, and finally let the tears come. Outside, Sage had limped to her usual spot and just watched. She didn't leave. She just sat like a sentinel until he started the engine.
You are the only one who doesn't want something from me. And I can't save you either.
2 runs later, the way station red light flashed him in. A DOT officer stood in the drizzle, clipboard in hand. The officer flipped through his logbook and tapped the same rest stop entry on 3 pages. This your favorite place, driver?
I've got a bad back. That stop's got decent facilities. Stretch my legs longer than most.
The man wasn't buying it. He let him go with a warning, but the words burned worse than a ticket.
They're watching every minute now. I can leave water, but I can't stay.
That night, he pulled off, killed the engine, and filled the bowl without scanning the tree line. He didn't wait to see if Sage appeared. The rig pulled back onto the highway, and the rest stop shrank in the mirror.
I did the right thing. So why does it feel like I left something behind I can't replace?
The road stretched on 50 miles before he realized he hadn't turned on the radio. The silence was louder than the engine.
Next run, I'll check. Just a quick look. That's not breaking the rules.
The next run, he pulled into the rest stop 30 minutes later than before, hoping the missing half hour would make his log look cleaner. Sage wasn't there. He killed the engine and waited. The neon hummed. The tree line stayed dark.
Come on, girl. Don't do this to me. I came back.
10 minutes passed before a shape detached from the blackness. Sage limped into the light, every rib a knife blade.
2 days. 2 days without water, and she's barely standing. This is on me.
He laid out fresh water and 2 cans of tuna, staying downwind so she wouldn't spook. She drank like she'd die if she stopped. This time, he didn't retreat to the cab. He sat on the cold pavement, 10 feet away, and just watched her survive.
Whatever it costs, I am not leaving again. Not for a logbook, not for a dispatcher, not for anything.
He left enough food for 3 days, and when he finally climbed into the cab, he didn't look back at the clock.
I'll make it work. I always do.
The call came while he was pre-tripping in a Missouri lot. Company restructuring. His route was being reworked effective immediately. His new assignment bypassed the rest stop by 40 miles. He wouldn't even see the exit sign anymore.
There's got to be another way. I've driven that route 5 years. Can't you slot me in somewhere that hits that corridor?
The dispatcher's answer was a flat no. The schedule was set. He could accept the change or hand in his keys. He took one final run on the old route, buying gallons of water and more food than he could afford. If this was goodbye, he'd leave enough for weeks. He filled 6 bowls and stacked the cans carefully, then stood scanning the tree line. Nothing moved, not even the ferns.
She's probably already moving on, finding her own water. That's good. That's how it should be.
He climbed into the cab and sat with the engine off for 10 minutes, knowing he'd never pull into this lot again.
Goodbye, Sage. I hope you make it, wherever you are.
The rig rumbled out of the rest stop and onto the dark highway. In the rear view, the neon sign shrank to a blur, then vanished. The new route was straight and featureless, a gray ribbon between identical interchanges. Anthony drove with a hollow chest, his mind circling the rest stop like a tongue probing a lost tooth.
300 miles today and not one thing to look at. I'd trade a week of this for 10 minutes of that parking lot.
That evening at a truck stop, Lila's face appeared on his screen, bright as always, and immediately he braced for the question.
Daddy, how's Sage? Do you have a new video? I added a page for autumn leaves.
She's great, honey. Just staying out of sight more. Shy, I guess.
After the call, he sat in the dark cab, staring at Lila's crayon drawing taped to the dash. The lie tasted like diesel fumes. He pulled up a map on his phone, tracing the new route with his thumb. The old rest stop was 40 miles east, a star he'd never thought to name.
Exit 42. I could take it on the back end, swing north, then rejoin the interstate. Would add an hour. An hour I don't have. But she might be dead without water. And Lila will ask again.
He didn't sleep that night. He just lay in the bunk, the map still glowing on his chest, the detour already carving a groove in his mind. At dawn, he climbed into the seat and set the GPS for the old rest stop. The detour added 53 minutes, right through the heart of the schedule.
I'll log it as an extended rest. Traffic delay. They don't check side roads.
40 miles later, the exit hump appeared. His heart hammered as he guided the rig off the interstate and onto the empty 2-lane. The same neon sign flickered ahead. He killed the headlights as he rolled in, not wanting to startle her. Before the air brakes finished hissing, she was already at the tree line, coat filled out, legs steady, ears forward.
You look different, stronger. Like you've been waiting for this exact engine.
He climbed down and set the water bowl, hands shaking. Sage trotted forward and drank without hesitation, then looked up at him.
I am crying over a Bobcat. This is insane, but I am never driving past this exit again. Never.
He stayed until midnight, running the clock down past any safe excuse, and didn't care.
Every run, that's the rule now. Every single run. The schedule be damned.
The detour became ritual. Anthony kept 2 logbooks now, one clean, one true, and the clean one showed impossible coincidences.
A 15-minute traffic delay here, a detour there. They don't audit fuel receipts unless you give them a reason.
He filmed Sage on the 4th run, coat glossy and no limp, and sent the clip to Lila with the subject line, "Guess who's back?"
She's beautiful. I am printing this one and putting it on my wall.
The scrapbook swelled to 3 pages, but Anthony's paranoia swelled faster. Every mile felt like a gamble. Then the dispatcher's voice crackled through the cab with a new edge. Your fuel consumption and arrival times aren't matching, Anthony. They'd run the numbers. The detour was showing up in the fuel logs, a mathematical indictment.
If they dig into the GPS data, I am done. But I can't skip, not now.
He started taking different county roads each run, varying the detour, but always ending at the same neon sign.
Every run, I am stealing time, but she's the only thing on this route that doesn't lie to me.
3 days later, a state trooper lit him up on a county road and asked for the logbook. Anthony's blood went cold. The officer flipped the pages and tapped a series of entries. These don't line up with your fuel receipts.
I've been taking back roads to avoid construction. Sometimes the detour shows up on the GPS weird.
The trooper wasn't convinced, but he let it go with a written warning, a paper that felt heavier than a freight bill.
One more slip and they pull my CDL. Then no job, no Leela, nothing.
That night, he took the detour anyway. The threat was real, but the need was deeper. Sage was waiting at the tree line, coat slick and full, the limp a memory. She trotted to the bowl like she owned the place.
Look at you, strong and wild. This is why a written warning is nothing next to that.
He stayed 30 minutes, right up to the razor's edge of the next red flag, and left only when Sage disappeared into the dark.
I'll keep walking the tightrope. She's worth every step.
On the next run, Sage lumbered to the bowl instead of trotting, her belly low and swollen.
Not fat, not sick, pregnant. She's carrying cubs.
He spent his break reading about Bobcat gestation on a weak phone signal. Every paragraph mentioned mortality rates.
Coyotes, owls, even other bobcats. She needs a safe den, and all I've got is water and cheap tuna.
The next run, he brought a sack of high-protein cat chow. He scattered extra bowls near the denning spot she favored. Sage ate like she was making up for lost months, then slipped into the undergrowth. He sat in the cab until dawn, listening for any cry.
If she births them in a bad spot, they won't make it, and I'll never know until I find the scraps.
The detour wasn't a choice anymore. It was a pact. He'd keep water and food on the edge until she didn't need him or he couldn't drive.
I never signed up to be nursemaid to a bobcat, but I guess she signed me up anyway.
He pulled onto the highway, but the worry stayed, a new sharp edge on every mile. The cubs were coming, and he was all they had. He was 20 minutes behind schedule when the dispatcher's call came, voice sharp with barely contained fury. Rejection at 11, billable to driver.
If I skip Sage and she goes into labor without water, no, I can't. Not tonight.
He pressed the accelerator, eating up the back roads, the detour burning minutes like paper. The rest stop was a cave of shadow. No eyes gleamed at the tree line, no bobcat. He killed the engine and waited, the silence so heavy it felt like a second heartbeat.
She's already denned up, or something got her. Either way, I am cooked.
Then a low rustle and Sage appeared, dragging her swollen belly. No cubs yet, just exhaustion and trust. He filled the bowls with shaking hands, not even glancing at the clock, and when she drank, he almost sobbed.
I can't keep doing this, but I'll do it tonight, and every night until she doesn't need me.
The next run, he pulled in with no clock to spare, and there stood Sage with a wobbly cub pressed against her flank.
Oh God, she did it. She really did it.
He fumbled for his phone, tears blurring the screen, and filmed the tiny cub taking its first clumsy steps. He sent the clip without a caption. 30 seconds later, Leela called.
Daddy, is that a baby bobcat? Is that Sage's baby? Tell me it's real. I am screaming. Mom says I woke the whole house.
It's real, baby. That's her cub. She brought it to meet me.
The cub fell over twice, and Sage nosed it back up. Anthony stood frozen, letting the joy fill the empty spaces.
This is why. Every risk, every lie. This is why.
He stayed until Sage led the cub into the dark, and when he pulled onto the highway, the road didn't feel quite so empty. Over the following weeks, the cub grew bold, pouncing on fallen leaves near the water bowl as Sage watched.
Look at him. A few more months, and he'll be hunting on his own, and I'll still be here.
During a video call, Lila's voice was pure excitement.
Daddy, I want to come see them. For real. Can I ride with you one time? I promise I won't make noise. Please?
I'll figure something out, honey. This summer, I promise. You and me and Sage.
But the next call wasn't from Lila. The dispatcher's tone was flat and final. Your route compliance is under review. One more deviation and you are terminated.
They're not playing anymore. I am going to lose everything.
He stared at Lila's drawing on the dash, the crayon bobcat mocking him with its grin.
Something has to give. I can't keep two lives, but I don't know how to choose.
He found a regional carrier online that ran the old corridor. He dialed the number before he could talk himself out of it. The owner needed a driver. Anthony named his terms, a regular route that passed exit 42.
They agreed on a small pay cut. He hung up with a new job and a weight lifted.
Then he called his dispatcher and quit, voice steady for the first time in months. He took one last haul for the old company, pulling into the rest stop just after dark. Sage and the cub were there, sitting as they always had, like the rest stop was theirs.
They don't know I almost lost everything. They just know I am here. I chose right. For once, I chose absolutely right.
He left the water and a double portion of cat chow, then sat until the cub yawned and Sage nudged it toward the trees.
Every run.
Months later, summer break. Lila sat in the passenger seat, her pink hoodie bright against the worn upholstery.
We're almost there. Keep your eyes on the tree line, baby girl.
I can't believe I am really here with you, for real.
He took the familiar exit at dawn, the detour that had once felt like a crime and now just felt like home. As the rest stop appeared, Lila pressed her face to the window, breath fogging the glass. Sage emerged from the shadows alone, coat sleek, no cub tagging behind. The young one had found its own territory.
She's even prettier in person. Oh, Daddy, look, there's another one.
Deep in the trees, a second adult bobcat lingered, watching with amber eyes. Sage had company now.
She made a new friend, kinda like you did.
Anthony didn't answer. He just watched the bobcats and felt a quiet, earned peace settle over the cab. On the drive back, Lila hunched over her sketchpad with crayons from the glove box.
I am drawing both of them. The new one is Sage's friend. See?
She held up a picture of two bobcats, one smaller with a crown, the other larger with a star. Anthony taped it beside the original drawing. The crayon bobcats now a pair on his dash.
2 pictures. 2 bobcats. 2 lives I didn't mess up.
Later, he pulled off at a quiet truck stop and dialed his ex-wife's number.
I know I've been behind, but I'd like to have Lila more often. 2 weekends a month, maybe a weekday.
She agreed, surprised by his tone. He scheduled the next visit before hanging up. In the cab, the 2 drawings caught the last light, and he realized he'd learned something from Sage.
Showing up is the whole job. I finally figured that out.
Anthony guided the rig onto the highway as dusk bled into the tree line. The rest stop shrank in the side mirror. In the side mirror, Sage raised her head, perfectly still, her job done for the night.
Every run. That's the deal we made. And I am still here.
On the passenger seat, Lila's latest drawing caught the last sunlight, 2 bobcats side by side, a crayon sun in the corner. He'd keep the water full, the food stocked, and the detour carved into his schedule like a promise. For a year, the road had been a sentence. Now it was a choice. 100 yards behind, Sage turned and melted into the woods, where her world began again, and his kept rolling. The highway stretched on, flat and empty, but Anthony's chest didn't feel hollow anymore.
Lila will draw her again next summer. Maybe the cub will come back. I'll be here.
The taillights burned through the dusk, and the rest stop stood silent, waiting for the next run.